Good morning. I decided to make this extra video about outliers. So to help you guys with homework and any other assignment that we might have in the future. So outliers are the numbers that we are going to figure out if they belong or not to a certain boundary that we create in our data. So for us to work this, we need the set of data, which I have it here. So I put numbers from 4 to 14, and we are going to work with this set of data over here. So the first thing that we have to do, we have to find 5 important numbers. So I wrote here the 5 numbers that we have to find. The numbers that we have to find are the median of our information. They are the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and then we need the least number and also the greatest number. These are all the information that we're going to need in order to work the outliers. So the first thing we're going to find is actually the least and the greatest number. They are easiest to find. The least number, the lowest number in our data. So it is number 4. Then the greatest number that we have is 14. So those are the two easiest information for us to find. Then we can work with the median. The median is the number that is right in the middle of our set. So we count how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. So if I have 9 numbers, the middle is going to be this number right here. 4 numbers to the lower half, 4 numbers to the upper half, and this one here is the one right in the middle. So the median here is going to be 7. Now we have to find the lower quartiles and the upper quartile. So the lower quartile is going to be the median on the information that is here, the lower half of my data. The two numbers that are in the middle are 5 and 5. So all I need to do is the lower quartile is going to be 5. But how do I find it? 5 plus 5 divided by 2. So this is the same as my both numbers in the middle divided by 2. So 5 plus 5 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. I didn't really need to do that because they are both the same number. So being the same number, it was almost obvious that the number was going to be 5. Then I go to the upper quartile. The upper quartile is going to be what? These two numbers here, 8 and 10. So now I do the same thing. 8 plus 10 divided by 2. Since I don't have just one in the middle, I have to find the mean between the two numbers in the middle. So 8 plus 10, 18 divided by 2. This is 9. So I have all this information, and this information is very important for me to start finding my outliers. The next thing I need to do is to find my quartile range. Remember that the word range means that we are going to find a difference between two numbers. So range here in the quartiles is going to be the difference between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So what I do is upper quartile, take away lower quartile. Then I have what? 9, take away, 9, take away 5, which is my lower quartile over here. 9 take away 5 is 4. So 4 is going to be a very special number here. What am I going to do with that information? So 4 is what? I am going to get that number and I'm multiplying by the factor 1.5. That is going to tell me the boundaries that I have to look for, okay? I have to look for some boundaries in order to know if any of these numbers here are or not outliers. So 4 times 1.5 is the same thing as trying to find out 50% more, 50% more of the information I have and see if all my numbers fit inside that profile. So 4 times 1.5, I use my brain here or my calculator, and this is going to give me 6. So for me to figure out if a number is or not an outlier, what do I have to do? My upper quartile plus this number here that I just found, which is 6. So this is going to be what? 9, my upper quartile, 9, plus 6, which is 15. And then I come to the lower quartile and I take away the same number that now tells me where my boundary is going to be. So my lower quartile here, as you can see, is 5. So 5 minus 6, which is -1. So what do I do with these two numbers that I just found? I go back to my previous information. I go back to my set, to my data right here. And I write them over here. So this -1 is my lowest number, as you can see here. And then 15 is my highest number. So I have these two numbers here. My set here, my data, my initial information has no numbers that go below -1. And it has no numbers that go higher than 15. So these numbers here have no outliers. Oh, outliers. Oop, I wrote everything together, but it is separate. So no outlier for this set of data here. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. If not, just shoot me a message and we can talk.